My name is Jason Zhang. I play baseball and I attend Antelope Valley College in Lancaster, California. So I first got into playing baseball around 5 or 6, and I kind of wanted to follow the footsteps of my brother because my brother also played baseball. So I kind of looked up to him, and that's also why my parents put me and my brother into baseball camp as little kids so we could get out of the house. And then other sports I played rep hockey. I played school sports like soccer, basketball, rugby, just for fun. And then I also played like Timbit soccer for a little bit. I chose baseball because I was better at baseball than I was at hockey, because it came to a point where, you either choose hockey or you choose baseball. I thought I had more potential in baseball than I did in hockey, so that's why I chose baseball. The journey of Canadian baseball players is pretty rough compared to our American counterparts, because there's not much high school baseball in Canada, and if it is, it's like house league level. So it really depends on the travel team that you're with. I was with the Ontario Blue Jays for a little bit, and then I went over to the Mississauga Tigers, and that's where we would go down and play American teams, go down to tournaments and showcases and all that. And that's really where we started being immersed with like the American players who were going to like big schools or even getting drafted and all that. So it's tough as a Canadian to get exposure in America. So yeah, being with those teams, it really helps Canadian players get down and get exposure to American scouts and all that. Some sacrifices I had to make was obviously missing out on hanging out with friends. If you have a Friday morning workout, you get back at 2, 3 because the drive, and then you're kind of just beat for the day. There's the diet, there's a lot of stuff. Your friends want to go out, you can't really eat the stuff they're eating. You gotta stick with the better diet. Obviously, like balancing school and sports. So you definitely gotta sacrifice a lot of your personal time, but in the end, it's all worth it if you love your sport. I've actually had a few injuries. Before I came to LPS, I strained both my hamstrings. Yeah, the hamstrings are a big one in baseball. So yeah, I strained both my hamstrings, and to overcome it, I went to physio and got acupuncture and all that. I do get acupuncture pretty regularly just to keep them loose and all blood flowing and stuff. So yeah, that's usually how I maintain my legs. My mom would probably support me the most out of anyone in my family, because she's more of like the lenient parent, and then my dad's more of like the do this and do that. So my mom's always been supportive of me playing baseball, me going to LPS. They're not really too into like weightlifting and stuff. So she was kind of scared when she saw me, lifting heavy weights and going ass to grass. So it was kind of funny, but like I'd explain to her, at LPS, this is what we do, and it is the right way to do stuff. And then she's seen that I haven't gotten injured in the time that I've been here, and I'm only getting better. So I've been at LPS for 3 years. I heard about it through Sean Travers, because LPS works with the Mississauga Tigers. And when I first got here, it was slightly intimidating, because you see John and Gordo and Denzel, they're all cleaning and snatching what I barely even squat. So it's like, you see all these guys moving big weight, and it is intimidating at first, but once you get immersed into the culture, and once you're here for even like an hour, a few minutes, everyone's very friendly, and they're really supportive of you, even if you fail or if you get your lift. And yeah, just a really nice culture to be around. Like, at first, it might be a bit intimidating, but after you're here for 5 minutes and all the coaches greet you and they know who you are, they're here to help. So it's amazing after that. Before coming to LPS, my training, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what LPS is. I wouldn't really squat that much. I would bench press, what kids like to do when they go to the gym. I did lunge a lot before I came here. So I think that gave me a pretty decent foundation. And then once I got here, it was, ass to grass, snatch, clean. And then that basically propelled me up to activate everything, Training at LPS has really helped me inside of baseball. Doing all the movements at LPS, you're basically training your body to move faster, react quicker. And all that translates really well into the field. So, sometimes you see people squat a lot of weight in the weight room, and then they go onto the field and they can't do much with it. So the way that LPS trains, it really helps you take what you do in the weight room and put it onto the field. And it also helps with injuries as well. So like I said, my hamstring injuries were pretty bad before, but then once I came to LPS, the way they teach you, it really helped you strengthen all the muscles in your body, and it does it in the right way with full range of motion, so that when you're asked to do something in a game, your muscles are able to do it and they don't fail. So after training at LPS, I realized my 60 time, which is like the big thing in baseball, really went down. I went from a 7 flat to a 6.5. Half a second, pretty good. And yeah, I'm trying to get even faster. The speed was the big thing because I really like running, so obviously doing the speed work and all that really helped. And then also explosiveness, so not only speed but like how I can move. And then also power, obviously in baseball. I realized I was hitting the ball further with less effort. And I was moving a lot more easily than I was before. I was kind of more stiff and I wasn't as mobile, but now I'm a lot more mobile and I'm moving a lot better than I did before. The culture here at LPS is honestly like amazing as an athlete, as an elite athlete, because you go to a regular gym, it's kind of just like, oh, everyone's doing their own thing, you might be lifting a lot heavier than someone else, but like there's a weird energy when you're lifting in a public gym. When you come to LPS, everyone's focused, everyone wants to do the work, and everyone's ready to do the work. And everyone knows that, and it feeds into each other, and it builds and it builds when the longer you're here. So especially with like the guys, you start to get to know everyone here. You know what sport they play, what their personality's like, and then it kind of just feeds into each other because everyone's getting better together, and it helps propel everyone at once. Dominate to me means like setting yourself apart from the competition. So not only are you stronger here, you're faster here, you think faster, you can react quicker, and it's kind of like you're a level up above everyone else, and that's what dominate means. One of the hardest things I had to go through, probably Lewis's conditioning. Me doing that conditioning was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. After leaving LPS and going to school, it's like you can kind of tell with your teammates and your peers that since I trained at LPS, I'm kind of at a different level. It's like, I'm faster, I'm stronger, I'm more mobile. Like you'll see your teammates squatting in the weight room. They're putting a bunch of weight on the bar, but they're not going ass to grass. And once you ask them to do that, they crumble. So it's like anything I do here, I know it translates to wherever I'm going, because I know it's a lot harder at LPS than it is anywhere else. So it's like anything you do outside of LPS is pretty easy. I mean, there's been a lot of times that I've wanted to quit. Like a lot of times at LPS where I wanted to, I can't do this no more. I'm going home, whatever. But it's like, it's the culture here that stops you from quitting. You see everyone else, they're going through the same pain that you are. And, maybe their pain's even worse. And you see them suffering and you're suffering too. But that kind of culture pushes you to not quit. All the coaches are supporting you. Like everything here is just pushing you to not quit, even though every muscle in your body wants to stop and go home and sleep. So training has strengthened my mentality because it's shown me that, times may be tough. Like the things you're doing may be hard, but you can always push through it. And also like the stuff that happens outside of training, when you're training or when you're in the game, none of that matters. Like you could have the worst day outside of training, but when you come to training, that's all dropped and you got to perform. It's the same thing when I transfer to sport, because I might have the worst day at school, I might have just failed my test, but when I get into the game, none of that matters and I just have to perform. So I feel like training at LPS has given me that kind of edge over people. My main goal I have right now is to transfer to a good 4-year school where I can get my education. I don't know where I'm going to go from there, to be honest, but my goal right now is to transfer to a 4-year school, get a good education. Obviously, I would like to go pro. If not, I would like to be successful in some other realm that I don't know yet. If I could talk to my younger self, I would have told myself to come here earlier, because I came here when I was 17. I wish I would have came here when I was like as young as possible.